All right, we are live.
All right, everything all good sound-wise?
I hope so. I'm not used to this.
Yeah, me neither.
It's our first time in a recording studio. Not the way we imagined our first time in a recording studio would be. I mean, I think at some point it will be the way that we see, you know.
That's the dream.
I'm Drew D'Amelia.
And I'm Nick Padula.
And this is Blinkity Bloop, a podcast about watching movies, or talking about movies that came out?
Yeah, movies in theaters.
Yeah.
New releases.
Just to clear this up right away, I know it's going to be confusing. Blinkity Bloop is the name of this podcast, but it's also the name of our band. You might know us as the Blinkity Bloop Boys from the band Blinkity Bloop.
We're the boys.
We've been doing it a long time, and we love music. It's our life. It's
our passion. Yeah,
it's how we spend most of our waking hours, really. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, me too, pretty much.
But not to say that, we like movies, too.
Of course.
Everyone likes movies.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so Blinkity Bloop is the band. We're the Blinkity Bloop Boys, and please support our music. It's awesome stuff. We gotta work on getting some social media going on.
Some advertisements. Yeah, we're a bit behind the times as it is.
Yeah.
As it were.
But this podcast is also great.
Great exposure.
Yeah. It's gonna mislead people, but it's fine. And movies are fine. They're fine. Movies are fine.
They're an essential part of life.
Yeah, they're more than fine. They're great. And today we've been assigned. Assigned might not be the right word.
Yeah, it seems like a homework assignment.
Yeah, no. This is coming from a place of we wanted to do this. We're instructed. I'm not instructed.
You're making it seem so serious.
I don't know. We are here today to talk about the Oscar nominations, specifically the Best Picture nominated movies, and we have scrambled to watch all of them, all 9. I mean, let's be real here. It was difficult to see all of them in theaters.
Yeah, they didn't make it easy for us.
In such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. This has got to be like an hour long. So, I guess roughly 5-6 minutes per movie, and
something around there.
Here. Cool. So, first movie, how about The Post? How are you feeling about The Post?
The Post, Steven Spielberg, with the acting talents of Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, and Bob Odenkirk, David Cross, and a shit ton of other talented folks.
Do we have to give a explanation like that?
No, I'm figuring it out.
No, that's an actual question. What
do you think?
I mean, I don't care.
It might drag things on too much if we get hung up on credits.
I can't remember if we're supposed to do that, though. I don't think it was specified, so I think we're okay.
Maybe we can leave it out.
Yeah, but anyway, let's not get... We're being bogged down here.
Yeah. Anyway, movie.
Well, how did you feel about it? What did you think?
Well, I mean, with Spielberg, you can always expect a pretty quality production, and Vietnam is not something you see. Well, you see plenty of movies taking place during the war, like war movies, but you don't see much of it from the American side of things, where you see civilian life and how they're handling all the crazy stuff going on overseas.
Oh, that's what you mean. I thought you were saying, all the Vietnam movies are about the Vietnamese.
All those Viet Cong movies.
There's too many Vietnamese Vietnam
where Willem Dafoe
movies.
plays a Viet Cong soldier.
Well, I mean, I guess there's something to be said about that. The non-soldier side of the American side of the Vietnam War.
Yeah, I mean, it was important what they did and what happened, and it's eerily relevant to what's going on today, though I won't say how, but wink, wink.
Well, I hear that they rushed out the movie intentionally. I think the whole thing was put together after the election, which... that wouldn't surprise me because there was a lot of talent assembled, obviously. but it just kind of felt like people were going through the movie. I'm not saying it seems like they were bored or seems like they weren't doing a great job, but it all just seemed too dependable to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird because it was very competent. Not just competent, it was very competent movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just felt at the end like, thanks. Like, thank you
just
for that.
Thank you, Washington Post. You saved America.
I loved at the end, though, that...
Should we get into spoilers?
Yeah, I don't... It's probably fine.
All right.
I don't think there's stipulations.
Okay.
It's ridiculous because the whole movie happens, and then you have one character go, I hope we never have to go through something like that again. And then it ends with that scene where you just see, a janitor
Nixon.
or someone walk into a room, and there's a bunch of people looking through files, and he goes, we got a problem here.
At Watergate.
I don't even think that's the thing. They didn't say at Watergate or give any, I mean, if you know history, you know what it is.
Yeah.
But my major problem with it is that if people didn't know history, like, they're going to be young people watching this, they're going to see that, and then it just cuts to directed by Steven Spielberg. And they're going to go, what?
Just like, what's with the janitor?
Are you going to tell us what that was?
Was he the next president?
It'd be so confusing for them. Like, the movie is over as far as they know. Then a janitor just walks to a room, and there's a bunch of shadowy figures looking through filing cabinets, and he's like, we have a problem. To people that don't know history, that go, oh, there's still something going on in the movie.
Jeez.
And then the credits start. And
just like, does that leave it open for a sequel? The Post 2?
Or maybe they're just waiting. Like, there's going to be an end credit scene. Like,
post credits like a Marvel movie.
Here's the thing. If you do know Watergate, and I knew Watergate, I was still kind of bothered that they ended it that way, because it just feels like they're setting up for like the post cinematic universe.
Like, oh, there's gonna be a whole like scheduling release of the Post 2, the Post Infinity War Part 3. It's gonna be a whole fucking thing,
basically. So I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was all fine. Okay, one thing that did bother me, we're both familiar with Mr. Show with Bob and David.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing them together.
In a serious movie.
But here's my thing about that. And it's sort of a ridiculous thing.
Yeah. When
there's a famous duo, and they're from a while ago, and then both their careers take off, for some reason, I want it where both of their careers take off and they're equally successful. So I want them, if one of them winds up being in a big television show, I'm like, I want the other one to also be in a big television show. If one of them winds up starring in a bunch of movies, I'm like, oh, the other one needs something comparable. Maybe they can be in a mini-series that's really well written.
I mean, David Cross had Arrested Development, and Bob Odenkirk has, Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, so,
But that's two shows against one.
What do you mean?
There's just Arrested Development on the David Cross side, but Bob Odenkirk has two shows. Okay, that's true. He does have Todd Margaret, but Todd Margaret isn't nearly as celebrated as those other two shows.
No.
Or three shows, I should say. But, I mean, David Cross had a boom for a while no one really knew who Bob Odenkirk was. Right. And now Bob Odenkirk is sort of having a boom, and hopefully at some point it just all levels out. But that's what bothered me in this movie. One, I was bothered that Bob Odenkirk had more of a character than David Cross. It's like, go! Come on! It's gotta be even! But I was also bothered because I kept wanting them
to contribute.
To talk to each other. Like, I'd always see them in the same room. I'm like, come on, just have a conversation. Just say something. Because I wanted to see them interacting. It didn't have to be anything referential to Mr. Show. No. I just wanted to see that, like, the fan in me. And they had maybe 3 moments where they
sat
wound up
next
saying
to
things
each other,
together.
and that was it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It reminds me of, when we were in plays, way back in the day, and there's that one show where our characters never interacted, but there was one moment where they looked at each other for a half second during the middle of a dance number.
Yeah.
And that's what it feels like. It's like you just want them to get like, oh, we have half a second, and then it's gone.
It's like keeping Laurel and Hardy apart. It's just not right.
And yet, those are weird talking points to bring up with the post, but I just don't really have any other feelings about it. It was fine. It's weird because honestly, I get why it's titled The Post, but I feel like in these days, The Post is the title you want to use for some interesting movie about
Mail?
a Facebook post that goes like really, really wrong or something like that. Because it seems like that'd be an interesting movie to me. You think, oh, that's boring. It's just a Facebook post, and somehow like an epic movie results from it. Yeah, one of those things where one little thing has a giant downward spiral that creates a lot of chaos. That's what The Post should have been.
It should have been just a guy like tweeting like, you know what? I really didn't like Transformers 5 that much, and then it destroys his life.
Was that was Lily James in The Post?
Lily James.
Why do I feel like she was in The Post? I feel like The Post
I
had
thought
all
she
these
was in
celebrities.
Okja.
I mean, Lily James was probably in more than one movie. Is my best guess.
No, I know she's been in a number of things. I'm
gonna look it up. Oh, when I googled Lily James, the first thing that popped up was Lily James sex scene.
Why would that happen?
I'm not saying that was a recent search.
Wait, was she the one in Masters of Sex?
No, that was Lizzie Kaplan.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which I'm sure if I search Lizzie Kaplan, there will be a similar result.
Yep.
Nah, she wasn't in The Post.
All right.
There's some girl that looked kind of like her. But there we go. Those are my. Did you have anything else about The Post?
I like not Meryl Streep, Tom Hanks playing a bit of an asshole, because usually he's like such a nice guy.
I guess he was a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Meryl Streep did her normal thing where she's really good, but
I
still don't like her for some reason.
I think Tom Hanks is a much bigger asshole than people give him credit for.
In real life?
In Toy Story.
Oh, he was a total asshole in Toy Story.
He really was an asshole.
He almost got Buzz killed, basically. Sold him out.
Like, what do you like? Oh, it's the friendly cowboy that your kids will love. Like, Tom Hanks really, like, has he ever played a meaner character than the first Toy Story movie? I'm really honestly not sure.
Holding up Buzz's severed arm and waving it, that's like a serial killer thing to do.
Well, that was a plea for help in Toy Story. I mean, but there were other, having him pushed out the window.
That was pretty,
homicide. That's more or less.
Toy homicide.
But, yeah, all right. That's The Post.
All right, The Post, yep.
Dunkirk.
Yeah. That wasn't an as in it was bad. I mean, I was watching it on a computer. I mean, a very small movie theater screen. Wink.
I saw it at a drive-in.
Okay.
And the Emoji Movie was playing on the other screen behind it. So like, occasionally, at one point I had to go to the bathroom, and so you could hear the Dunkirk audio playing. But I turn around, walk to the bathrooms, and see the Emoji Movie, and then go, oh, boy.
I wish I was watching the Emoji Movie. At least that's entertaining.
I really, honestly, for a long time, preferred the Emoji Movie to Dunkirk. I'm not kidding. I really, really didn't like Dunkirk. But I'm not into Christopher Nolan. I don't hate his movies, but I don't seek to watch them, really. That's me.
Yeah, I mean, I like him. I've liked his movies because, I don't know, Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight. I've liked those characters. Not the most well-written, but the stories are usually pretty engaging. But Dunkirk, I feel like one of the big mistakes of it was rating it PG-13 because war is a horrible, violent thing. And if you give it a PG-13 rating, you can't see the true horror. You see some of it, but you like the most violence you see is like, oh, I got a little bullet wound right in my side. Ouch.
Yeah, I've seen people complaining about that. It didn't bother me, but I feel like it might have benefited. I don't. It honestly, it just seemed like most of the bad things happening in the movie didn't involve a lot of gore. It seemed like there was a lot of drowning.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of just people getting crushed or burnt. Like, if you think about it, how many people really died from getting shot at in the movie? It was
mostly bombings.
Yeah, it was just like a lot of it didn't feel like it needed gore. People.
No, that's true.
People keep bringing that up, but I'm like, I don't know. It'd be different if it was Saving Private Ryan PG-13.
Yeah, or Platoon.
I feel like you would really notice that. But I mean, like, a torpedo hits a ship. I mean,
you're not going to show blood and guts flying everywhere.
Like, there might be, but I don't think it's as inherently gory as if someone gets shot 15 times in the face.
Yeah, like in Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
With Hitler.
So, I did have to see Dunkirk a second time.
Why?
Because people... I know I don't like Christopher Nolan movies, but I was thinking, I gotta give it a second chance, because... Yeah. It's probably better than I think it is. And
was it?
Here's the thing. I didn't get why Dunkirk was historically significant, and I would argue the movie did not make it clear enough why it was significant.
Except the post credits where it like has the letters.
I don't even think they did it in the post credits, because the thing is, I had asked my history friend, but apparently, the thing with Dunkirk is if they didn't evacuate, the war basically would have been lost.
Yeah.
That wasn't clear to me.
No.
All the movie really presented was, these guys gotta get out of there!
Get off the island!
Get out of there!
Go on, get!
I mean, honestly, that movie could have been called Get Out. Like,
get out of the island. Go on, get
out. I also think Mother from this year could have been called Get Out.
Yeah,
did you see that
get
one?
out of yeah, that was
Jennifer Lawrence just got, get out of my house,
get out of the fucking house,
get out of my house,
get out. All these people in my house.
But 3 movies this year called Get Out. Why not
just Get Out 1, Get Out 2, Get Out 3 released the same year?
But I mean, there were no characters really, but
all vignettes.
It didn't quite matter.
Yeah.
Not too really. Much. You know, there was enough action keeping it going. And I guess knowing the historical significance becomes a more interesting movie.
But if you go in blind...
Yeah, it's tough. And I personally, I don't think it's extraordinary. I think it's fine. It's a good movie.
I mean, it was an important event, but Christopher Nolan did not make it seem important.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, it's just a war thing, and any second the Americans will show up and it'll be fine. But
yeah,
I don't know. One part of it I thought was kind of funny in a messed up way was where they're going off on the boat, like the civilians, and they rescue Cillian Murphy, and he knocks that one kid down the stairs.
I knew you were going to say that.
And the kid's just like, I can't see. And I'm just like, I feel like such a bastard. But it's kind of funny. And then he just like, is he okay? He's dead. And I'm just like, wow, that kid didn't do anything, and he ends up being a fucking hero.
I mean, I appreciated it because it was just... It's not what you expect to see in your movie.
In a war movie.
This kid just fell downstairs and did nothing. Hey, it's almost so useless that you're fascinated by it. Like, oh, wow.
That was more interesting than most of the war parts.
Yeah. But are we good for Dunkirk?
I just thought it was weird to get these big celebrity names just to show up in little eensy chunks. Like Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Kenneth Branagh, what's his name, Harry Styles.
Oh, they weren't cameos exactly. They had many scenes, all of them in the movies.
Yeah, but it was like little eensy, like altogether, Tom Hardy was probably in like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Same thing with Cillian.
Yeah, I guess they were all, but I guess that it's like an ensemble piece.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess that's true.
You're right, though. It should have just been Tom Hardy in the plane. You know, I would say that as a joke, but that actually, apparently there's a movie where Tom Hardy's just in a car for like 2 hours, and that was apparently really good. So maybe Tom Hardy in a plane would be great.
What's his name? Fucking guy who played Deadpool.
Oh, Bob Collins.
No, really. What's his?
Bob Collins.
Okay, well,
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds was trapped in a coffin for 90 minutes, and that's good too. So sometimes.
Oh, what movie was that?
Buried, I think.
I thought you'd get Deadpool.
Deadpool. Did you see it?
The Proposal. Oh, that proposal
Just
did not
friends.
go well. The change up. Like he's in the coffin and there's a body living his life and it's just dead.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. All right, we should probably.
Well, guess what? If you weren't satisfied with the amount of Dunkirk movies this year, we got Darkest Hour.
All the Dunkirk.
I kept telling people that Darkest Hour was the same thing as Dunkirk without actually knowing. So I went and watched Darkest Hour, and at first I'm thinking, oh, it's not really about Dunkirk. Then as the movie goes on, I go, wow, this is like the exact. It's about the same thing, but it's from a completely different angle. Yeah. It's not from the angle of the soldiers. You barely see the soldiers. It's from the angle of the people making political decisions, specifically Winston Churchill.
Yep.
And to me, I feel about this movie the same way I felt about The Disaster Artist. The main character was fascinating to watch from an acting perspective.
Yeah. But everything else.
That's it.
That's nothing to see here.
It was interesting that both Darkest Hour and Dunkirk ended with the same speech.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do I know this? Oh,
I saw it a day ago.
And I gotta say, having seen Dunkirk twice and having it explained to me, when I saw Darkest Hour, I went, oh, I know what they're talking about now. Like, I know what this is. They're trapped in Dunkirk. So it was, I mean, now I had never known what Dunkirk was.
Me neither, really.
Now everyone's gonna know about Dunkirk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Gary Oldman, great. Really good.
Would you say he might be lined up for Best Actor?
I think he should get it.
I mean, those Academy people fucking love British period dramas. They fucking sucked the King's Speech dick like there was no tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess it was like the King's Speech. I mean, not that the King's Speech was great.
You fell asleep during it.
Yes, I did.
Not gonna let you get away with that.
I did watch the whole thing before. That was my second time seeing the King's Speech in theaters, which is what insane people do. I should get like psychopathy test.
You got that's a good point.
Psychopathy, is that how they like to pronounce it?
Psychopathology.
No, like, is it psychopathy or psychopathy? Psychopathy.
I imagine it'd be psychopathy.
I don't know. That's really all I got on Darkest Hour.
Stannis Baratheon was in it, for anyone who knows Game of Thrones. I'm a fucking dork.
Whoa, he was.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You didn't realize that?
No.
Okay, yeah. He was Gary Oldman's character's opponent.
Wow, what a much worse role for him to be in.
I know. He had I think he had like some kind of speech impediment, which was weird because he normally...
Was he the speech impediment guy?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I thought he was some other guy that was just, I'm angry at you, Winston. Meh.
Stephen Delane as a wimpy guy.
That's Stannis.
Who wanted to...
I thought you were going to say Stannis as Whoopi Goldberg.
The guy who played Stannis Baratheon also played Whoopi Goldberg in Sister Act.
A revival of Sister Act.
We go forward or we die, but there's no going back.
But I got nothing else about Darkest
I'm trying to
Hour.
think, make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, the train ride. That
was the only scene I kind of liked.
It seems so historically inaccurate because if you know anything about Winston Churchill, you'd probably get the feeling that he wouldn't be the type to lower himself to the lower classes.
I read up on it, and while they admit that scene didn't happen, it wasn't unusual for him to just randomly duck out and reappear, and he did apparently just like wander into the public to see how they felt about things.
All right, that's fair.
But yeah, I can't attest to how accurate it is to Winston Churchill.
I was reading about that, and I was reading it from the perspective of George Orwell, not to get too into this, but George Orwell said a lot of, a good amount of the British probably would have been more okay with surrendering to the Nazis and just being able to, like, exist separately, like still be an independent United Kingdom, but let the Nazis take over the rest of Europe.
Yeah, I do like in that scene, Winston's going, hey, should we make peace with the Nazis? And everyone goes, no, never surrender. It'd be great if just one, but, I think, yeah.
They just beat him to death. Coward!
They throw him off.
Winston joins in and just beats him with a cane, like, this is what we do to cowards!
That's the whole reason he got on the train. A covert mission to find the cowards.
Tracking down the pro-Hitler people. Or the pro-surrender people.
That's great. Truly it was the darkest hour.
And the upcoming sequel, Lightest Hour.
That's great.
Yeah.
Dark light, like Spotlight. No, I fucked that up. Moonlight. There's something there.
Maybe.
Dark light.
We're gonna have to workshop that.
Dark light. Spot dark. There it is.
Spot hour.
Spotlightest hour. This is a bad bit. Let's bail.
Yeah, okay. Moving on.
Ladybird.
It was like Napoleon Dynamite with girls.
No.
No,
No, it wasn't. What are you talking about?
That was just the first, that was the Rorschach test of my mind. Someone just held like a blotch up to my face and I'm like, Napoleon Dynamite. It didn't make any sense. That's just what my animal brain said.
I thought it was fine. I don't understand the hype.
I was entertained and I enjoyed the characters. I found it quirky and I thought it accurately captured how awkward high school drama is for anyone not involved in it. Like, I like those bits a lot, like drama clubs.
Yeah, which is fine. I think it did great. I just don't get what made it... Because here, I'm always saying this. The Edge of 17, which was made the year before Lady Bird, yep. I think did a much better job of tackling roughly the exact same thing. Roughly.
Yeah.
I mean, they are vaguely different in certain ways, but I much prefer The Edge of 17. It got great reviews, but no one was talking about it. And Lady Bird comes around, and I mean, I'm glad Greta Gerwig wrote and directed her first thing. That's great.
Yeah.
But I'm worried people are like, you're a woman, so that's why this is great. I'm hoping that's not the case, because women don't want that. They, no. They don't want to hear, oh, we like that because you're a woman.
I'm trying to think of shitty female directors. There's got to be some out there that people wouldn't praise.
Oh, I'm sure there are. Well, here's the thing: is Greta Gerwig is dating Noah Baumbach, who's also a writer-director.
Yeah.
Noah Baumbach, no offense to Greta Gerwig, Noah Baumbach has been making films for a long time. Like, this is Greta Gerwig's first outing, so
yeah.
in theory, she has a ways to go before she gets to, like, a real prowess, where Noah Baumbach has been doing this for 20 years as a director, and she gets a Best Picture and Best Director nomination. And Noah Baumbach, I don't think he's ever gotten anything. And I'm like, he makes great movies.
He should make great movies for A24 because people are really paying attention to that production company.
It just... see, it's like... The movie's fine. Honestly, I don't remember much of it, if I'm being honest. But I remember thinking it was good. It did remind me of Noah Baumbach, which doesn't surprise me. I mean,
quirky
I assume
comedies.
There's a reason they're dating.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're familiar with Noah Baumbach.
I am. The what in the whale? The something in the whale? Squid in the whale?
The dick in the whale.
The dick in the whale, right.
Yeah.
And there was Francis Ha, I think. Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, that was him.
And that was
I really liked
Greta
Francis Ha.
Gerwig.
Yeah. There was Mistress America, which I also really liked. He just did a movie this year. The Meyerowitz.
Oh, was
stories?
that with Adam Sandler,
yeah,
Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah. And Ben Stiller. Is. Oh, we don't have to talk about that one.
No.
But I don't know, that's so I guess the main actress, I saw her in Brooklyn, I think it was too, which was also nominated for Best Picture. I can't pronounce her name.
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse?
Saoirse.
Saoirse. Oh, I like that. Saoirse.
It's cool.
There's an Irish movie I really liked where someone was named Saoirse.
She was in Grand Budapest Hotel also.
No way.
Yeah, she was
Yeah, you're right.
bellhop guy's
You're right.
crush with the birthmark on her face.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, she's good.
Yeah,
she was
she is.
also in Loving Vincent.
Oh, yeah, I saw a trailer for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Is that it? Is that all I got for Lady Bird?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
I think it's time for 3 billboards
Yeah.
outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Did I get that title right?
That's it.
Cool.
Where to start? There's a lot. I
Remember, we only have 5 minutes.
I know. I don't want to get too tied up, but I really fucking like this movie, and I love the writer-director, and his style is just the darkest of dark comedies, and that's basically my aesthetic when it comes to writing and stories.
I think it was his best movie of the 3 movies he made. I just really respect it when a movie can balance actual, genuinely funny comedy with actual, genuinely gripping drama that well.
Exactly.
And that alone was so compelling, but there was more to it. It had a great theme. It didn't go in the places you expected, but it was one of those movies where by the end, it feels like all of that was supposed to happen the way it happens, which I think is great. I think it's really hard to subvert the audience's expectations but still leave them feeling satisfied. And not just feeling satisfied, but feeling like it all came together nicely. Because, I mean, just the nature of subverting is you're going off in a direction people aren't familiar with, so it's really hard to make people comfortable when you're being that aberrant. But it worked. It really worked. I think Sam Rockwell, I mean, all the performances were good, but he blew me away.
That was a great character arc.
Just his posture. I couldn't stop looking at his posture. Like, that had to be so hard to do. No one's thinking about, wow, look at the way he's sticking out his butt. Like, but that's what I was, because Sam Rockwell doesn't have posture like that, but he made himself have posture like that for this character. That's insane. No one's going to be talking about it.
No.
But Sam Rockwell's butt. Best
he broke
actor.
his spine just to get into character.
He gave himself sway back.
Yeah.
Just for the gig.
Yeah.
Doing another movie, ma. Gotta get sway back.
Just like, I gotta, like, sleep hanging off the edge of my bed.
Yeah. But that's how I feel.
Yeah.
In my heart.
And it was also... Shit, I don't know where I was going with that.
It's okay.
I really like Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage was a great treat.
Finally, you figured it out.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage was indeed a great treat. Just like in Ice Age.
Peter Dinklage was in Ice Age?
Continental Drift?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the original.
No. But he was in Continental Drift.
Was that when Game of Thrones was already happening?
Yes.
Okay, that's a weird that you'd look at Game of Thrones and be like, let's get that actor and put him in a kid's movie.
It's not... It's for families. It's Ice Age.
It's for kids.
Continental Drift. Scrat goes on some crazy misadventures. You motherfucker. But yeah, we both loved it. And that about covers it.
Yeah, I don't want to gush over it too much.
Yeah, it was just impressively written, and that matters most to me.
Me too.
It was. I just like the concept. It's creative that putting something on 3 billboards creates all the conflict. Because I mean, you could easily just have her not put things on billboards, but just be angry and
harass the cops.
But it's just there's so much more punch to that premise. Like just 3 billboards. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. It's like clearly a numbers thing going on with Martin McDonagh. I was bothered in 7 Psychopaths because I'm like, oh, 7 Psychopaths. That's very interesting. Let's see all 7 of them. There's like 4. Fuck! Like,
and then the other
technically
3...
there's 7, but the 2 female ones are like not in it.
And they're not really psychopaths.
No, they're barely in it, and I guess that's maybe a twist, but it's like Ocean's 8, and there's like 3 of them. Where are the other 5? I don't know.
They were in the background. Didn't you see one of the extras?
Fuck! When I see numbers, I want those numbers
To add up.
Yeah. Unless it's like a sequel number. It's not like it's gonna be The Boss Baby 2. Like, where's the second Boss Baby?
Shrek 2. Where's the second Shrek?
Oh, technically there were 2 Shreks in that one. So Shrek 2 set the bar too high. Now we need 2 Boss Babies because Shrek had 2 Shreks.
And Godfather 2 had 2 Godfathers.
I didn't see Godfather Part 2 yet.
Oh.
That was Part 2. Does that make it different?
It is.
I guess so, yeah, because it says it's the second part, so I'm not... Oh, okay. It's 2 parts, not 2 Godfathers.
That's an important
That's what you need. You have
right.
The Boss Baby Part 2. Is the way
2 boss, 2 baby.
Yeah, okay. And for the record, that is going to be a movie, if you did not know.
2 boss, 2 baby?
No, The Boss Baby 2.
Okay, well, that's not really a surprise.
It's coming. It's coming for ya.
Choo choo.
Speaking of coming, Call Me By Your Name.
More like James and the Giant Peach filled with semen, am I right?
Yeah. I remember the part where Armie Hammer is going to eat it.
Didn't he?
He didn't actually eat it.
Okay. I was going to be like, that's dedication.
I'm like, how long has that been sitting there? It's going to be cold. But, I mean, when you're horny,
yeah,
you eat the cold cum.
That's life. That's romance.
That's what they say.
I mean, nothing that kinky happened in the 50 Shades movies, right?
No, well...
Eating a cum peach?
Nothing that creative, but probably the same level of kink. Probably.
Right,
it was like anal beads. It's like, oh, okay.
But, yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, if you think about it, anal beads, cum peaches, they're probably
Same
existing
ballpark.
on the same plane. But I thought it was... I wish I liked it more. I thought... Honestly, I don't know why, but people just made me expect that this was going to be one of those gay romance movies where the fact that they were gay didn't matter at all. They just...
Happen to be...
Yeah, they were just going to be gay, but it was just going to be a romance movie.
Yeah.
I thought... I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a movie where gay finally isn't an obstacle or people have to hide it or things like that. It wasn't that kind of movie.
No, it was like they're bisexual, basically.
And, it wasn't... they didn't want to be gay in public or things like that. It wasn't that hard. Like, I mean, there were implications that one of the characters, their father would disown him if found out he was gay. Right. But... they didn't go into that stuff too much, but it was in there. It was in there enough to be a part of the movie. And I can't, knock the movie for that. It's fine. Yeah. Just because it wasn't the movie I was expecting doesn't mean it should have points docked. Right. But, I don't know, I sort of feel similar to Lady Bird, where it entertained me. It was a nice movie. Mm-hmm. I'm just... I guess I understand more why Call Me By Your Name would get a nomination, because it's like, gay people, right? Like, gotta give them rights.
That's important.
But Lady Bird didn't have a feminism angle, really. I mean, behind the scenes, I guess it did. But Lady Bird wasn't about a woman trying to find, power in a patriarchal society, necessarily.
Yeah, not really.
But... disregarding that, both movies, I just went, that was nice.
I was just waiting for the sex the whole time. Like an hour into the movie, I was like, I want the sex. I'm straight, but I want the man sex.
There's a lot of tension. I was waiting for that sex.
I was just like, when I first started it, I'm like, it'll probably be like 20 minutes in.
It took a long time.
I was just like, sex, give me the sex. And then after all the buildup, I'm like, I want to see ass. I want to see front frontal male nudity.
I want to see that dick, both of the dicks, but
Yeah.
no dicks. And it's becoming a thing now. There's a lot more penises in movies, but they got to be comedy penises.
Yeah, nowadays with dramas they kept it classy. Like it wasn't, you didn't see the sex.
Yeah,
really.
but I mean, I'm sure there are a lot more male gay sex scenes than I'm familiar with. But I think people need to be educated. Like, they've seen pretty graphic straight sex scenes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily porn. I mean, disregarding that many people have likely seen porn. But in the movies, you know, you've seen them in positions. You've seen sex happening. I don't think we see that enough with the gays.
I don't know many gay sex positions. I just know from behind. I want to see the other stuff.
Well, they were clearly in one position where it looked like missionary, but, you know, it was with the butthole. It had to be.
Yeah.
Which is, like, it was implied, though. I don't want it to be insinuated. I want zoom out.
Yeah.
Wide angle lens that shit. Call it by its name. But
One of the parts I liked the most in this was the speech toward the end of the movie that his dad gave to him.
yeah, was his dad gay?
It seemed to imply at one point he was thinking of having an affair with another boy when he was younger.
See, honest, that actually bothered me, and let me tell you why. I know it sounds off, like, I'm upset that he was gay.
Why can't people just be straight?
Well, because I was telling you I wanted that movie where it just wasn't a problem they were gay.
Yeah.
And when the dad started talking, like, this is sort of filling that bill. You have a dad, and he just accepts the son for being gay. And I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But then you realize, oh, the dad's gay. That's how he's empathizing. Like, no. Like, I just wanted the dad to be straight and not care that the son was gay, because there is that implication that if the dad was straight, he might be like, sending you to camp, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I won't dock points.
I don't think he was 100% gay, though. It's not like he was faking it for his wife. I think he truly, like, was sexually attracted to his wife and stuff. He just happened to also be kind of bisexual.
Yeah, I feel like it might be ambiguous. I'm just not sure.
Sexuality is not binary. It's a very complicated thing.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of complicated sexuality...
Shape of Water?
Oh, I was going to say Get Out.
I think mine made more sense.
I don't know. I guess I can talk about both of them. Get Out should win Best Picture.
Yes. Moonlight and Get Out. Like, Moonlight won last year.
It should have just went with La La Land.
I
know it was a mistake, but it should have just like, you know what? We changed our minds.
It would just be cool if two films involving African Americans won in a row.
That would be, yeah. That'd be progress, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of people scared of Get Out. Not just because it's a successful horror movie, but they're like, uh-oh, my rights as a white person
are threatened.
For me, in the same way that I was really impressed with Three Billboards combining genuine comedy with genuine drama, I felt the same way about this with genuine comedy and genuine horror, which I think is even more fascinating of a mix.
Yeah.
And it was actually scary and actually funny, and just the fact it was nominated is stunning, because when's the last time you can even remember a horror movie being nominated?
No Country for... That was a thriller.
Alien. I think.
1979.
In the 70s. I'm not even confident that was nominated for Best Picture.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean...
It's been forever.
And a horror comedy on top of that.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened.
No.
I'm stoked that Jordan Peele... You heard me saying that thing with... I want Bob and David to both be equal.
Yeah.
It was bothering me. I don't watch Key and Peele. But it was bothering me that I was seeing Key have all this success.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
in the shows.
Jordan Peele, this has got to even out. So I'm like, oh, good, he's got a nomination for Best Picture, Best Director. It's good, it's even.
I think he kind of blew Key out of the water, though.
I'd say it's pretty valid, because he only made one movie.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Jordan Peele is actually picking up on his own with voice acting. They're both getting that, because Jordan Peele was in Captain Underpants this year.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even recognize him. He played a great white guy. But Get Out, yeah, it was a really smart movie. Just one of the best scripts I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. It covered all the important traditional steps of a horror movie, like from the intro scene that like shows like the horror and then kind of builds from there. But it did it in a way that didn't feel unoriginal. It kept it fresh.
Yeah. I really dug it.
Yeah.
And The Shape of Water, I also really dug it. If that
was that our transition?
Yeah.
We done with Get Out?
Well, we said we were talking about both of them.
All right.
But we can't. I mean, you got more on Get Out?
No. I mean, we can keep it at that.
I'm trying to think. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
It was good stuff.
A lot. Shape of Water.
That ass.
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Do you know Michael Stuhlbarg was in
all three? He was in
That's
The Post.
insane, right?
He was in Shape of Water, and he was in Call Me By Your Name.
Michael Stuhlbarg is the big boy of the year.
He's the true champ. He should win Best Character Actor, who's always a side character.
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Michael Stuhlbarg, true champion. If you're listening to this, Mr. Stuhlbarg, you're doing a great job.
Stuhlbarg.
I'm hoping next year he'll be in 8 of the Oscar noms.
All of them. He's the only nominee for every... And Best Picture nominees, Michael Stuhlbarg. What? Michael Stuhlbarg.
Being Michael Stuhlbarg.
Michael Stuhlbarg is all the movies. Like, they just nominate a human being instead of movies for some reason.
He just gets into everything. He's like a bad penny the way he keeps turning up. But if a bad penny was talented as a character actor.
It's not, because he's been in so many things that I've seen, but I haven't really known that it was him.
Yeah.
I was watching Call Me By Your Name, and I'm looking at the dad, and I'm like, I know him from somewhere. So I look him up, I'm like, whoa, I know him from everywhere.
Yeah.
But Sally Hawkins got naked. It was something I didn't know I wanted to see all my life, ever since I was born. But
you've been waiting for this one moment.
Oh, baby. Oh, man. I also thought this was a really creative movie. I'm just stunned that they took a premise like that. Because when I saw the trailer, I didn't really care. It's just, I don't know. The trailer, to me, didn't sell just how insane a premise it was.
Yeah.
You didn't get that it was a romance. It just seemed like, there's an alien and someone's angry about it and the alien escaped. You don't get that it's whimsical. You don't get that it like feels like a classic Hollywood movie in a lot of respects.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about it. It had such a style. Everything felt heightened, kind of like a fairy tale, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
A fable. And it was such a creative premise.
Yeah.
Like, again, like with Get Out, you can't really say you've seen a movie that did that before.
Exactly.
In the way that it was done. And I can't really say that I've seen this done in the way that it was done either. It floored me. It made me bust 1,000 nuts.
Well, it's... Sally Hawkins made you bust 1,000 nuts? Or the movie...
Michael Stuhlbarg.
Michael Stuhlbarg, as a Russian spy, made me bust 1,000 nuts.
It was the part where Michael Shannon was sticking his finger through his face hole. And was like,
you were speaking Russian, just like...
I won't stop, help! And busting 1,000 nuts lasts for 2.5 weeks, just so you know. So
you're like walking home from the movie. Oh.
I couldn't leave the theater. I was too weak, so I had to hide. And while I was continuing to bust the nut, I had to bite down on something so they couldn't hear.
And at the same time you were hiding in the back of the theater, the movie was playing again, and you see Michael Stuhlbarg again, and now you're busting 2,000 nuts.
Well, that's the thing. It didn't start off as 1,000 nuts, but it was 100 nuts. But I wound up seeing him 9 additional more times, which added up to 1,000 nuts.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
That's rough. 1,000 nuts to be exact.
I didn't even intend that. Whoops.
Guillermo del Toro has, with his previous movies like Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 2, other shit. He's done Kronos. He's always had great creature effects, great visual effects. Pacific Rim, that one. He's always had like really imaginative creatures, and in his speech in the Golden Globes, he talked about like freaks and stuff, and how like we're all kind of freaks in our own way, and it was just
like The Greatest Showman. Like
what?
The Greatest Showman was about freaks.
No, it was about the Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Yeah, it was fucking freaks.
No, it's like clowns and elephants.
No, did he see the movie?
No.
It's not about fucking clowns and elephants. Are you shitting me? Like,
I didn't.
There's like a bearded lady, the tiny boy.
I mean, I didn't.
It wasn't good.
No, I didn't think it would be. That's why I didn't see it.
But yes, you were saying something about your love
Of Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah.
Yeah. He, everything he does, like, I love fantasy, I love science fiction, and that's, like, his only 2 genres that I've seen. And now he's dipped into romance. Though, no, my mistake. Last movie he did, Crimson Peak, he did do romance, but it was like a spooky ghost story romance, which was his most un-Guillermo del Toro movie.
That's right, he did do that thing that I didn't see, but I kind of wish I did, because it looked interesting.
It's pretty good. But Shape of Water was better.
Yeah. I'm glad he's finally... I think Pan's Labyrinth also got nominated for Best Picture back in the day.
I think that won Best Foreign Film.
Oh,
At least
was that it?
Should have. If it didn't.
I hope it got nominated for Best Picture, but if not, I'm glad he's finally getting some recognition.
He deserves it.
Because this is one of those movies where, just like Get Out, I'm surprised that it's getting all this attention, but I'm so happy about it, because these are the kind of movies I love. Same with 3 Billboards even. That's even a little surprising that got nominated.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect the Academy to go for movies that go that crazy.
Even like Lady Bird is honestly surprising. Yeah, I didn't love it, but it is
not
surprising
their
it got
style.
nominated. Like The Post, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, not surprising.
Call Me By Your Name.
No, none of those are surprising. No. And The Phantom Thread, is that surprising?
No, because it's Paul Thomas Anderson. They tend to like him.
It's a much weirder movie than you would think, though. It really is a weird movie.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it memorable. But usually, I don't know, I don't count on the Academy figuring that out.
No, you wouldn't.
You know what I mean?
Maybe they're getting younger and smarter.
Maybe. I do feel we've got a lot of great, weird nominations this year.
Yeah.
But The Phantom Thread...
Are we moving on from Shape of Water?
Did he have more to say?
No.
You're always like, are we moving on? Oh, did he have something else? No.
I'm just making sure. I don't want to...
When I'm transitioning, I'm all set.
All right.
Phantom Thread, I believe, is our last movie to discuss, and it's going to trigger your ASMR, because Daniel Day-Lewis has a wonderful, soothing voice. Even when he's yelling, it's just kind of giving you the tingles.
Yeah.
The whole movie is just really pleasant, but, it tackles unpleasant things in a pleasant way. Like, the whole movie is pleasant, but it's not about pleasant things, really.
Yeah.
And
it's got some off-putting moments.
Daniel Day-Lewis was fantastic.
Yeah.
I liked Gary Oldman better, because with Gary Oldman, I actually genuinely forgot it was Gary Oldman while still being fascinated by the performance.
Yeah.
But I kind of knew it was Daniel Day-Lewis. It was a phenomenal performance.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was acting like Daniel Day-Lewis, the person, acts.
No.
But I don't know, maybe it was just the type of performance it was, the type of movie that he was in. But I love the sass. It was a lot funnier than you would think.
It seemed like a straightforward period piece that would just be like, and then they broke up and it was sad.
But not at all.
There was some like, what, I'm trying to think of a line. Oh, his sister, the Cyril, I think was her name. She was just like, he was just like, shut up. And she's like, don't tell me to shut up. I'll go right through you and you won't have anything left of you. And I'll be the one left standing. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. She just threw down.
Because that's the thing. There's so much. The sass is so quiet and subtle.
And
but
polite.
You feel the anger and emotions behind it. So
Under
it's
the
just,
surface.
it's so funny. I don't know. There's something about it. But it's just such... It's weird. It's so weird.
It's very
weird. You wouldn't think that a movie that's about essentially poisoning someone into love would have anything to do with making dresses. Like it really feels like they smashed two things. They don't quite belong together, but I think it works. I do think they are spiritually related. I think that the dressmaking aspect of it, it's a very pleasant and refined profession, and you're mixing that with very gross shit.
Yeah. Poison mushrooms.
It's just, it's stunning. It's one of those concepts where when you see the trailer, you think this is just going to be lame.
Yeah.
And it seems lame, but it comes together to form something that just, it seems like one of those ideas that is like as old as time for some reason. It's so simple. I think that's what it is. It's such a simple but really effective idea. There's not much to it, but it works really well.
The writing, I think, was key for a lot of it.
Because things like 3 Billboards, Get Out, Shape of Water, there's quite a bit to it. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's so simple with Phantom Thread.
Yeah.
Like, it's really bare bones, but I liked it a lot.
And that simpleness is what deceives you into thinking you're in for just a normal, British romance. But it turns out to be way more.
Yeah. Basically, so I want to say that people that, I don't want to see that movie. It looks like a stuffy romantic movie. But then I say, no, go see it. Instead of a stuffy romantic movie, I got a weird as fuck movie that I just left, like, what the fuck was that? Like, I feel like average moviegoers not gonna like either version of this. They're not gonna like what they think it is, and they're not gonna like what it winds up being.
Yeah.
So it's really just for very special people like us.
Yep.
I guess we're very special people.
We're special boys.
So we think Get Out should get Best Picture.
We think it should, but will it?
It could go a lot of ways. I'm really not sure. I could see it going to 3 Billboards. I could see it going to The Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, I feel like, is too weird for the whole Academy to want to.
I can see it going to Lady Bird for like the political "it's a woman"
Post
thing. It could even go to The Post, which absolutely doesn't deserve it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's a movie the Academy would feel comfortable with, I feel like.
I can even see it going to Call Me by Your Name. Like another gay movie, if you think about it. That'd be...
Moonlight and then Call Me by... Yeah.
I guess that's it. That wasn't so bad, right? We got through that.
Yeah, I mean, were we good, do you think? You think people listen?
I have no idea. I hope they need to. They please listen.
We do. We would like some listeners.
It is, without going into it, it would be very beneficial to the Blinkity Bloop boys if you subscribe to this podcast and download it and do whatever I'm not quite sure how podcasts work.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. And tell your friends about us.
And our music.
Yeah, Blinkity Bloop. We're going to have social media soon. It's great. I mean, we don't have recordings yet, but we're working on it. But we get around and we do some performances when we can, and we love it. We love it.
We don't get much money, but that's not what matters.
Yeah, we're having the time of our lives. Like,
exactly.
We're all about that band, all about music, and just I love it. I know I'm getting gushy over it, but all right, cool. This is sponsored by Fissure Mist Media. Please go to Fissure Mist Media for all of your audio needs. They do voiceovers, ADR. If you want to record an audiobook, you can record music here. Mm-hmm. And podcasts, yes. Basically all your audio needs, be it for music or movies, anything under the audio sun. Fissure Mist Media. Mm-hmm. Thanks to our sponsor, and see you guys later.
See you.